Now, we know Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler didn't have the cleanest of endings. It was a messy divorce.
Nasty work.
And Pat Riley kind of let Jimmy get away with some stuff and then decided, you know what? No more. You got to fly with the team. You got to stay with the team. And if you don't, you're going to be suspended and we're going to take your money and we're going to do all that other good stuff. So we know Pat Riley, man, he'll wave that wand every once in a while and say, let's come out now. Dwayne Wade was talking the other day and said that he knew things were really bad in the Big Three era when LeBron James, apparently, this is what, from my understanding, used to have he has his own chef, and we know LeBron takes care of his body. He had his own chef prepare food, but especially cookies for every flight. From what I'm understanding, LeBron James brought the food and the cookies onto the plane.
Right. He doesn't eat the meals that the plane or the team provides.
Which are 5-star meals, by the way.
Right. He has his own chef who provides him probably what he needs is a 5-star meal.
Understandable.
Which is understandable.
People have their own dietary wants and needs, which is totally
absolutely.
Look at me. I eat weird as hell. I understand that.
I was watching Road to Go, whatever that Netflix thing. They were talking to the French chef. The French chef had to make like 12 different meals. Like it was like 4 chefs.
You get paid for.
Right, you get paid for, but every player has a different diet plan or different things that they can and cannot eat. So they gotta abide by the rules.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So from what I'm understanding, this is what was really nasty. LeBron James.
It was already, by the way, context. Things were already shaky between Riley and LeBron. This is 2014. This is the last year.
This is the last year, and we're going to dive into it. But so just to give you the story first, and then we'll get into it. Apparently, LeBron James brought the food and the cookies onto the plane. They're playing a card game, and he's like, yo, give me my cookies. I don't know if that's those exact words.
Hey, can I get my cookies?
And they said, no, they've been.
They had to whisper. They had to come to him and whisper to him while he's playing cards. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this, I think most of you do, but if you don't, if you're new listening to this show, Sports Day, 560 WQAM with Dan Day and Vladimir Losing, NBA players and most athletes, professional athletes, when they travel, they do gamble. They gamble.
Yeah, of course.
They gamble. They play card games. So it's not crazy to be in a plane of NBA athletes, them grouped together playing cards for a good amount of money. There's a particular game that they play that's costs a lot of money. You can win a lot of money on one hand, or you can lose a lot of money on one hand.
I'm thinking one of two. I'm going to guess. It's either spades or tonk.
Tonk is one of them.
Tonk, okay.
It's definitly tonk.
Tonk is all we did.
Tonk is always
that's
right.
All
it's definitely
we played.
But it's another one that they call. I can't recall the name. It's but I'll look it up. Good, but yeah, that's what they were doing. So they were playing cards.
They were playing tonk.
They were playing pretty much tonk.
Okay, so LeBron just wants his cookies. The man brought cookies. So apparently Pat Riley and the Heat brass prohibited those cookies from being either left on the plane or brought to LeBron. And then LeBron not loses his mind, got angry and quits the card game, walks away from the card game.
It might have been Bure. That's the name. That's the other name. Okay. Bure's the other one. It probably was Bure. And he stopped playing Bure, took a step back in his seat.
Didn't talk the rest of the flight.
And didn't talk for the rest of the flight.
And then Dwayne Wade says, that's when I knew things weren't good. So Pat Riley decided to take that man's cookies away. First of all, and I mean, once again, I love Pat Riley. It's a little immature. I mean, even if you think or know that LeBron James is going to leave the team at the end of the season, that's a little immature. That's a little bit trying to, as we say, try to be the big guy in the room, or big guy.
Try to be the big kahuna.
Yeah, trying to be the big kahuna, trying to say like this is bad. Seriously, man, it's cookies. Stop that. Number two, and I mean, this is a big if
that's the reason.
That's a reason or the reason LeBron James left. No,
because you know what?
I don't want to think about it.
Who's in? No, Dan.
Too much.
Dan, think about it. I'm happy the story came out, because it explains why maybe Riles had to lessen control when Jimmy came. Because remember, we heard the story about Jimmy renting an Airbnb 30 minutes away from the team's hotel when they were in the finals in 2022 2021 against whatever year that was it 22 against the Nuggets?
Denver Nuggets.
Or was it 23? I think it was 23 against the Nuggets.
23.
Yeah, 23 against the Nuggets.
Yep.
He was 30 minutes away from them. But that's cool if that's what he needed to do, whatever. But you could tell that Roz probably learned from that mistake with LeBron. But then Roz is Roz, and Roz is gonna be like, all right, you know what? I've given you, I've loosened the rein with you, but now you're taking advantage of it. I got to get back to being Roz, and that might have been a conflicting point between him and Jimmy, because Jimmy was like, well, you were allowing me to do all this stuff before.
You can't give it then take it away.
Right.
We've talked about this, but so number one, I'm guessing the writing was on the wall. LeBron probably made it pretty well known for the most part to Pat Riley, and Pat Riley knew LeBron probably not coming back. So Pat Riley decides to pull a
No, you
move.
can't tell. You know what, Dan? You can't tell me that, because if that was the case, then Roz would have never gone to Vegas with the rings and then guess what? That's why LeBron was watching the World Cup game and then paid no attention to him.
We're trying to do full circle here. On one side of it, you say Pat Riley knew, LeBron James made it known. Pat Riley was just trying to pull a move, whatever. But then again, yeah, you're right. Pat Riley still, if Pat Riley quote unquote knew, why did he go to this the hotel? Why did LeBron James start dishing? Was this maybe a factor? And LeBron was like, I'm kind of on the fence. Maybe I'm going to leave, probably going to leave, but I could see making running it back. And then Riley pulls a move like this, and LeBron's like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time, and I got this guy trying to prove his manhood to me by stealing my cookies or taking my cookies away from me. Riley does go to the meet, tries to meet with him, and LeBron's watching the World Cup. World Cup's always awesome, so I do understand that, but he ain't having no time with that, man. But so now Pat Riley, let's say, boop, 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 says, whoa, this is a different league now, and superstars have a lot more power. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. So Jimmy Butler comes. Jimmy Butler says, I don't want to stay with the team. I don't want to travel with the team. I'll go to shoot-arounds and practices, but, I want extra tickets to every game. I want this type of special treatment. And Pat Riley says, you know what? I made that mistake with LeBron, and it cost me one of the greatest players of all time. We really want you here, Jimmy. Okay, look, as long as you show up and play, you're good. I think that was the agreement, though. As long as you show up and play well, you're good. Jimmy broke that agreement by not showing up and not playing well. But I think that's, now you're seeing, that is a byproduct. These cookies aren't just cookies on a plane.
Yeah, you know what, man? You just asked
this has a long history.
How do we know LeBron wasn't overweight?
Overweight.
LeBron hasn't been overweight since what, 2 years old?
I don't think LeBron was.
I don't even think he was born overweight.
He wasn't even born with baby fat.
Come on, man.
Pat Riley. I mean, not Pat Riley. LeBron James is. There's no question about his physique and his health. But so this isn't just. This has long tails on it, because it's not just possibly pissing LeBron James off and having him decide. Maybe it's the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know. But it's not just losing LeBron James. It's not just the end of an era. It's not just the big three going down. It goes into the whole Jimmy Butler situation, because I guarantee Riley learned from not just the cookies, but from saying everyone's treated the same, no special treatment. You test me, I'll test you, I'll show you, to being like, okay, we can't do that anymore. And then years later, we have the Jimmy Butler situation. It's not. First of all, I'm almost 100% sure this is real, but it's not a far stretch to say that the treatment of LeBron James.
Yes, I believe. No, I agree with you.
Directly connected.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he realized, because of he didn't like the player movement, the player empowerment, and so he realized what happened. And then word gets around, bro. That's the thing. These players talk. These players train with each other, so they talk around. So you don't want to be this iron fist, and then all of a sudden you can't get the best players because they look at you as a dictator or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they already know. It's already about, you already hear about heat culture, but now you don't want to hear about heat culture and somebody's on your neck, like press, on your helmet every day because of this. Oh, you might be, 1 pound fat. Remember, you heard what Shaq said, how he had to use he had to use Diddy oil to get away from all those weekly fat percentage checkups, which is weird. But come on, man. That's LeBron James. That's the best player in the world. You don't do anything to upset the best player in the world.
It's a total power move. Now, if he was trying to take cookies away or whatever from Shaq or someone that was somewhat
that I can
a
understand.
little more. Yeah, but this is LeBron James. This is the best player in the game.
The guy who,
This is
the most
the healthiest guy in the world.
Iron Man.
I would argue maybe one of the healthiest people in the world for the past 20 years.
That's nasty.
It was just a power move. It had nothing to do with his weight. It had nothing to do with team rules. It had nothing to do with anything other than, oh, you think you want to leave us? I'll show you. No cookies for you. That sounds like your mom mad at you when you're 6 years old.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. That's a bad
that
look,
explains why LeBron had really took more joy in winning that bubble title than other titles, probably than the Cleveland one. That bubble title might be his second favorite title, only because of what the circumstance was, and also beating the Heat, because he let it be known without letting it be known that he was very happy to beat the Heat, because Riley told him something that you'll never win a title, like, if you leave this franchise.
I think LeBron James, all of his titles to him have been very special. The first one, of course, here in Miami. You win one, you get the monkey off your back.
I'm gonna tell you that if you rank the four,
oh, but you win the second one, you kind of reassure that you are.
If you rank his titles, bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Cleveland, you're back home. You've won in an organization that can't win anything.
Cleveland,
LA, you get it again.
The 2016 title is important to him. It's the number one.
I think all of them are.
But I mean, if you're ranking it, I would say 2016 is the biggest one, because he won one for the team, for a city, his city. But he has special joy in beating the Heat in this one in 2020, because obviously somebody didn't want his cookies taken.
That's rough.
That's nasty.
I'm sorry, and I love Pat Riley. That's not a good look. I mean, you can come at me and say, Dan, you don't understand, and I understand, but like, dude,
cookies?
It's cookies on a plane that he brought.
Think about it, bro.
No, it's one thing to say, like, no more food. He brought it on the plane, and they said no.
Right. So which means his chef made these cookies. So it's not like cookies he's gonna be taking, like, and that's the thing, is like, don't mess with his cookies. Like that, don't mess with his cookies.
He stopped playing Blu-ray.
He stopped playing Blu-ray. And he was like, and it was like the way D-Wade was like, and I know this, when you upset and then you lean back and you're like, and you're thinking about it, you're like, okay. All right, that's how it is. All right, that's how it is now.
The writing was on the wall.
The writing was on the wall.
At that point, if it wasn't already on the wall, Vlad, the cookies officially put the writing on the wall.
You can't delete these cookies from your website, Playboy. Now you messed up. So, I could see why maybe that is the reason why he kind of was a little bit, I don't want to say lenient towards Jimmy, but he let Jimmy get away with things. But I don't know if LeBron was doing craziness like the way Jimmy was.
That's the thing. LeBron's always been a team guy and like a stand-up. I think rough.
All I'm saying is this.
Like I said,
he probably was going to leave anyway.
Probably. And Pat Riley knew that.
But
that's still why.
Why?
Yeah, like I said, I really can't stand by Pat on this one. Like, to me, that's just it's elementary.
Cat for Life said, "You guys think they were special cookies?"
Now, if that was the case, that's different.
Because what's about like Deion Waiters cookies?
Yeah.
That's even better.
But it's illegal. He's got a legal angle on that one.
Illegal? How's anybody gonna know?
Huh?
How's anybody gonna know?
If they tested them.
They test them all the time.
Man. Legally, it was illegal. It's illegal to fly with drugs, especially back in 2014.
It's a cookie. I don't think he.
No.
I don't.
Facts or no facts? Was it illegal to possess marijuana in any U.S. state back in 2014?
Yes. But if you're talking about marijuana, the trees, yes. But if it's in a cookie, it's in a cookie.
Once again, I challenge you to walk up to a cop.
I can't roll up an edible. I can roll up trees
and say, I got weed cookies. Do something about it.
How's anybody going to know? How's anybody gonna know?
Why,
How's anybody gonna know?
Why do I even have to have these?
How's
arguments?
anybody going to know?
I said, walk up to a federal agent and say, "Look at this cookie. It's got THC."
Why would I?
in it."
Well, then the dumbass. Why would I walk up to a federal agent? Stop. Be clear and smart about things,
Stop
guys.
standing up for your weed when I'm just trying to.
I'm not.
facts.
No, because you're not making a valid point for it.
That is a valid point. It's illegal.
So name me somebody who's gonna walk up to a freaking federal agent and say, "Oh, I got weed in an edible."
I'm not saying.
Okay, so then what are you saying then?
Never argue with someone.
No. Explain your argument.
It's illegal.
Great. How's anybody going to know?
Because maybe they take the cookie from you because you're acting high and they test it.
Okay. So now okay, great. That's great. Now we're talking about LeBron James and his cookies, right?
LeBron James wasn't doing weed.
But even if it was special cookies, you think this is the first time you brought those special cookies?
No.
So then why are you trying to change it now?
What am I doing?
Why would Riley try to change it now?
I'm mad at Riley. Thank you.
No, not you. I meant you. I'm not you. But why would Riley change it now? Why would Riley?
Because he was being a DI.
Right. So what I'm just trying to say is this: even if it was special cookies,
even if it was water, he would have taken it away anyway because he was pulling a DI. You know what move?
Yeah, he was being an a-hole. I get it.
I'm mad at Pat Riley. Okay. I really am mad at Pat Riley for this.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. And I know you, I'm sure texters 305-567-0560 and on the YouTube and Twitch will get mad at me. I'm mad at Pat Riley for doing that. Number one, you don't mess with the man's food. Number two, you don't mess with one of the greatest players of all time's food. Number three, let him eat cookies. I'm on Team LeBron for this. I'm
definitely on the LeBron side on this, but I was just saying,
Come at me. But
I'm like, even if it was special cookies, you don't tell unless you.
I don't care.
Well, no. Hold on. Now, if he got busted and eating those special cookies, then you got to care. But if he hadn't gotten busted eating those special cookies, can let him continue. But we're not saying there was anything in those cookies other than chocolate chip. The point of the matter is this: why mess with the psyche of your best player in a contract year and do that?
But then, okay, if the writing's on the wall and you're like, you know what, F him, then why go meet with him in his hotel room and try to bring the rings and be like, we can do something special if you already knew and you took his cookies away? That's my thing. If the writing wasn't on the wall yet, it's sad to say these cookies were probably the writing on the wall that LeBron was going to leave. Man, that could have all been avoided by just being like, let the man have his cookies.
Cookies.
It really is. I mean, like, really?
Damn, when I heard that story, I was like, really? For some cookies? Like, he really?
Of all the things you can do to a player, like, I understand what Jimmy, like, oh, you don't want to be like this? You have to fly with the team.
I would completely understand.
But cookies?
Cookies?
We're talking about cookies?
Cookies.
By the way, keep playing hard, and let's try to win one more championship, but no cookies for you.
Cookies, bro. That's just wild.
That's
like,
low.
That's wild.
I'm sorry, that's low.
That's wild.
Does anybody disagree with me? 305.
No, nobody disagrees with you. Like, this is a bad stat for Pat. Like,
it is. I'm sorry.
It's a bad stat for Pat.
It's a low light.
This is definitely a low light. Like, you were petty that you took the man's cookies, and you didn't even go to the man and say, like, I'm taking away your cookies. The flight attendant had to go to his ears and whisper him, like,
you know, there might have been some hands thrown if it was face to face. Like, yo, no cookies for you.
Well, here's the thing with Ross. I think Ross wants to get in a fight sometimes. I think Ross wants to get punched by people. Like, I think so. Like, he's always like, there's how many times his best players have, want to run up on him and deck them out. Shaq said it. We heard the Shaq story.
Shaq will punch you.
Yeah, Shaq looked like Shaq. Yeah, Udonis had to, they had to slow him down.
Oh, they'll fight. I would love to see how many actual fist fights have broken out between Eric Spoelstra players and Pat Riley. I'm sure it's multiple times, but we never see it. I mean, yeah, everybody gets in fights, but I wonder if Spo's ever caught a stray. I bet he has.
Dude, Jimmy and LeBron bumped him, man.
That's true. They straight up just in public.
In public, like right.
So if you're bumping a man in public, you're definitely punching him in private. Just think about that for a little bit.
I know. Wait a minute. I know what you're saying, but that just sounded weird.
It sounds like it's a low blow, But yeah,
you definitely gotta punch him in private.
Punch that man in private.
That's like a double. That's a nasty double.
Oh man, cookies. It's all over cookies. All this could have been avoided by letting the man most likely eat chocolate chip cookies. Gourmet. That's even two. That's another thing, Vlad. If I bring like a sleeve of Chips Ahoy, whatever.
So wait a minute.
Man, gourmet cookies.
Think about that. Okay, so let me ask you this, Dan. What if this was a road trip? What if this was a road trip?
It was on a plane.
Right. No, but what if this was like one of these long road trips? And you had a stack of them, like you had like a Ziploc bag, and you like every game, like it's a 5-game road trip, right? You're in the West Coast for 12 days. Maybe you have enough cookies for each, for this road trip.
And you look forward to eating cookies, man.
Come on, after a game,
man. I ain't gonna lie. Like if someone gives me cookies, or I like buy some cookies and I have them at home, like I'm getting off work, like, man, I'm gonna go home. I'm actually gonna save a little room for dinner.
You when you have a dessert that you're like, oh man, I got this. Oh man, I can't wait to eat.
I eat light,
and then you eat. Yeah.
Sometimes I even plan my meal to like accentuate the cookies.
No, I'm sorry, guys. Listen, I'm Team Pat when it was the whole Jimmy situation.
I love him,
but in this finding out that you guys could have had LeBron. Well, maybe. Let me
to say that you didn't help your situation.
But you didn't help you. Yeah,
over cookies.
Some cookies.
Man, that's tough.
You don't eat them cookies.
You ain't eating them cookies, LeBron. Sorry.